Hi guys, welcome to this upload for you guys here exclusively on Wrestling Fan Open Mic Night. Thank you ever so much for tuning in. If you are new to this very channel, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon so you be in and updated anytime when I do any videos. Now I just want to say to every one of you guys is obviously with this flu or cold or whatever it is that I'm trying to shift. Don't worry, guys. This ain't a sponsored video, but all I can say is Monster Doctor has been blessed, giving me a blessing in disguise. Quite honestly, he's making me feel a lot better than I was when I did my video talking about TNA should break ties with WWE working relationship. They need to stop. And this is my own personal opinion. And obviously, as you know full well, over the time, I'm still a bit congested, but I'm on the mend, guys. I've always done controversial videos. Some people agree with me, some people don't agree with me, because at the end of the day, I love talking about professional wrestling. Even if it's here on YouTube, on this very channel, or it's over on TikTok, but this is an exclusive for you guys that is watching this at home. I wanted to do this video when I saw the trailer, right, towards the Hulk Hogan documentary series coming to Netflix. I, for one, would be watching that. I've not watched Unreal Season 2 because I didn't want to entertain it. But all I can say is this with this Hulk Hogan documentary, believe it or not, I was not a Hulkamaniac. Growing up, I was a Roddy Piper fan more than a Hulk Hogan fan. Even though, yes, I did respect his work ethics until obviously his personal demons got the better of him in recent years before his death. Now, I just want to say this, right? How this documentary is coming off to me, I feel like they're out to destroy Hulkamania. Even though Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea, the person himself, has passed away last year. Or was it early this year? You know, sometimes time flies. You lose track when people pass away. And WWE made a song and dance about it. You know, I was not watching the tribute shows because, quite honestly, I didn't want to entertain his passing. You know, he's that larger than life character that you expect when you're as a young child, and yet when I'm the age like now, coming up to 44 in June, that you expect him to be still around. I was expecting one day to see him at Full Wrestling, but that never materialized because obviously he's dead. Now, when I look at the bigger picture of it, right? Yes, he did a lot for the wrestling industry, but it takes two to tango, as I say. It's between him and Roddy Piper what made wrestling what it is today. I'll still stand by that, minus the tag match at WrestleMania 1. I think this was actually a golden opportunity when Vince McMahon actually capitalized on wrestling and made it a turning point. But you can't always put so much weight on someone's shoulders, like to carrying professional wrestling for many years. Now, he was a larger than life character, don't get me wrong, like I've mentioned. But the problem where it lies, when, fair enough, we know he's passed away, but you made Raw a tribute show, you made SmackDown a tribute show, you made NXT a tribute show, I think you made Evolve a tribute show. Now, it baffles me when I think about it, because when I look at the bigger picture of this documentary, this is very controversial. Now he's passed away. I think they were planning to do this anyway, but I feel like when I look at this, I feel like they're out to destroy what Hulk Hogan was. You know, even though Hulk Hogan was a part of it, I just feel like this reminds me so much of the self destruction of the Ultimate Warrior DVD. Then they kissed his ass, and then next before you know it, he had another bio out, and then all smooth, smelling roses. You know, and I'm really surprised WWE is allowing this to come out because he was the forefront of the 80s, even the 90s. Even when he went to WCW, he was still the face of WCW, believe it or not. But he didn't have that much of major success when he went to TNA Wrestling. Oh, my fucking chest. But it's really annoyed me seeing this trailer because, like I've mentioned, I was not a Hulk Hogan fan, but I feel like you're kind of disrespecting the guy now he's passed away. You know, I think this is the only reason why it's come out, because I feel like Hulk Hogan's lawyers and solicitors or his law team behind him would not let this come out. You know, even though he's filmed it, I feel like it wouldn't have come out. And for him to do this, film this when he was alive, fair enough. But it worries me how much this is going to tarnish a lot of Hulkamaniacs throughout their fandom of professional wrestling. That was a fan of the guy. You know, it's very controversial, yes, for stuff like this to come out after a death, but I'm really surprised they're actually coming out with it. You know, and I feel like they're gonna do him dirty. It just comes across they're gonna do him dirty. You know, are they gonna stretch the truth? You know, because people dubbed him as a racist because of obviously, you know, I'm not one of these. I would actually say this. Like I've said already, I was not a fan of Hulk Hogan, but I will be watching this on Netflix when it comes out, and I'll probably end up giving you my honest opinion. If I don't, I don't. But just by this trailer alone, I think you are really trying out to ruin the legacy of Hulk Hogan. You know? Yes, I know he may have trashed it recently in his recent life, but when he was around for some of the shenanigans, what's actually happened in his recent thing, but you've heard. Hulk Hogan himself hurt a lot of people as it is. It doesn't need Netflix to highlight this, you know? But why pick on Hulk Hogan? Why, of all people, that was the face of professional wrestling for many, many years, you know? And still, even now, you know? A lot of fans out there that literally turn around and says, I wouldn't be watching wrestling if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan. You know? They believed in him. You know, this is going to hurt a lot of fan base, and it's very controversial. Uh, you know, it's Netflix. You are pushing. You are taking the piss. You are taking the fucking piss when it comes out of something like this. You know, I love when they say they wouldn't be a WrestleMania today if there wasn't a Hulk Hogan. There wouldn't be professional wrestling if it weren't for Hulk Hogan. You know, I know that's very controversial to say, but I'm not. I love a good documentary, but I know life ain't sunshine and rainbows. Quoting Sylvester Stallone and Rocky Balboa. I know, but it makes me mad. It made me that mad, and I'm like, think how many fans you're going to upset releasing this. You know, I know a lot of Hulkamaniacs. Like, follow me on my social medias, and I've totally saw them being outraged about this. You know, I know you can't sugarcoat fucking shit, but I tell you one thing, and I tell you this much for free: it really annoys me when I've seen this. You know, it just proves the one thing, right? I'll just be honest with you, like I'm always honest with you. It's like the bios on the A&E. It's sort of that sort of same vibe. You know, where you've literally had people have the Legend series. Now Netflix is doing it. You know, I know kayfabe's dead. Mara speaking in some companies, but I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised they're allowed to do this. I wonder if it's going to be another 4 hour one. I really am. Because the Vince McMahon documentary didn't show that much. It just felt like an extended version of his McMahon DVD in 2006 that WWE Home Video released. That's all it felt like to me. Shows stuff that we don't even know about. But the problem is where it lies. It's quite funny now they're releasing it now he's dead. I feel like this is in bad taste. Even though, yes, I keep stressing this, I was not a fan of the guy, but I respected his work ethic until recent events, obviously within the last 10 years. You know, and he upset a lot of people that I know. Why do you think he got booed on that Monday Night Raw? They're going to be talking about that and all that lot, and I'm like, fucking hell, this is going to be car crash. Are they going to be stretching the truth, or are they going to be? I don't know what to say. I really don't, and that's just me. WWE, you had to hurt the person that made you a household name when it was WWF. You made a big song, and I feel like I'm going over the same thing, but if you made so much of a song and deal how much he meant to you as a company, you wouldn't have allowed this to come out. But money talks, don't it? Money talks. It fucking sickens me. You know, it's all about the money now. You know, it baffles me how they randomly drop a trailer like this just out of the blue that no one expected in a million years to see a documentary like this to come out. It wasn't even talked about until the trailer drops. That proves how secretive it was. And it just, when I look at this trailer, I feel like you're out to hurt the man that passed away, that made you a household name, and that's just me fucking being honest. Tell me how you feel, guys. Even if you weren't a Hulk Hogan fan, you got to respect the fact that what he did for wrestling. But I'm not on about the recent events, what actually branded him as a racist and everything like that. I'm on about he literally put the where WWE are now. If it, but the thing is, but like I said, Roddy Piper helped that happen. Because remember, it's not just one guy. Even though he was the front of the company, and it's mad when you think about it. Fast forward how many years later, you're trying to do the same thing with Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, and all that lot. But these are the same people with household names like 10 years ago. I'm wondering where WWE's going in 2026. It doesn't entertain me to watch. You know, I know Mania's in 2 weeks' time. Look at the Pat McAfee scenario. How many people were outraged about that? And yet you still want to watch the product. You know, and that's saying something. And that's just me being honest. Tell me your thoughts.